Good afternoon. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
This is the first year we're honoring women. I was going to say girls, but now they're women. We started off with football for several years, and then we got pressured by people, well, you need to do all the sports, so we switched over to all the sports. But when we did that, that opened up 1 million people, and some people like Ron Hill he was inducted for football, and some of the Albino Duran for football, but they also played 3 sports. So we said, are we going to come back and honor them for basketball and baseball again? Because if you do, I said to the committee, we're going to have 5 years just catching up on the people who are already been inducted for football. So they said, no, they've been inducted, they're inducted for good. So we didn't do that. Otherwise, we'd end up here. And then we said, okay, everybody before 1970 is a charter member. So we picked a bunch of athletes, and they're charter members. Because if we went back to those charter members, you people would have to be here in 20 or 30 years from now to be inducted. And I said, well, these people aren't going to feel like coming, or they're not going to be here anymore, and I won't be able to talk because I have to be 150 years old by then. Okay, so like Tim Dawson is here for swimming, and I messed up because I thought he graduated in 1969, which would make him a charter member, but he graduated in 1970, so he's in the very first class. And people say, well, how come we're not honoring the 85 girls basketball team and the 96 this? Well, we try to keep it this year with 70 through 78. Next year, anybody we've missed from 70 to 78, and hopefully we'll get up to 1980 and 1982 maybe. It depends who we pick. But one thing that's nice about this is that all of you sort of were in the same era and you know each other. If we pick somebody from 70 and 80 and 90, you might not know them, not be interested in coming. Like Mike Young is coming to support Tim, but he's coming just to be here. Some people come for everything. I'm looking right at Ruby Hill, so he reminds me that Ruby has the longest kickoff football return in history, 98 yards. And I was going to ask him if he wanted to practice doing that again, but I Jerry Ancahan. Jerry, I said 85 yards you ran against Larry Union, but what was it, 90-something you said? 93. I don't know what happened in Ruben's game, but I know in Jerry's game he ran the opening kickoff of homecoming, 93 yards for a touchdown. We didn't score again. Tulare beat us 35-7, but we're only talking about the opening kickoff. Okay, Tim Dawson has 5 school records in swimming. Most were set as his junior year, and he'll tell you what happened when he's senior. He was ill or had bursitis, whatever. But he went on to Bakersfield College, All-American swimmer at Bakersfield College. Went on to, was it Long Beach State where you went? Is that the school that used to be the 49ers, and now they call them the Dirtbaggers? Yeah, is it Dirtbaggers? Is that right? I don't live in Long Beach either. Anyway. Okay, so he has a lot of records, and it gives the information in here, so I won't insult you because I know you all can read because you all graduated from Delano High School. Okay, our first speaker, Mr. Tim Dawson.
Thank you. I was in high school 66 through 70. And our 1966 water polo team, when I was a freshman, we won the league championship, and that was the only time our water polo team ever did anything against Mount Whitney and Redwood. And as a sophomore, I speak into the microphone. You'll have to be patient with me. As a sophomore, I set the B-class school record faster than the A-class school record. And thank you. And as a junior, I set all the freestyle school records. And when I was a senior and we were playing water polo at the Valley tournament, and we got second place, which was the best we'd ever done in a Valley tournament, and I got first team all tournament. And as a senior, I got second place in the Valley in the 50 freestyle. It's okay. And yeah, our water polo team did well in Visalia. That's where we did the Valley tournament. And anyway, in 1971, I was in Bakersfield Junior College, and played water polo there. And my freshman year, I was the water polo goalie, even though I was the fastest guy on the team. I was a better goalie than the best goalie we had. And I got a scholarship to go to Long Beach State. And at Long Beach, I was a small fish. I was a big fish or a small fish in a big pond there. And anyway, at Long Beach, I was on a relay team. My only experience in the nationals was we had a relay team that won the consolation finals, which meant 9th place in the nation. And yeah, when I was at Bakersfield Junior College, I made All-American in I think it was 7 events, and 3 my first year and 4 my second year. And then I a couple of years after that, I moved to Kodiak, Alaska, and worked on commercial fishing boats up there, and and came back down and was doing carpentry and stuff around in California, and started a welding shop in San Jose, and then about 1995, I moved to the Central Coast, Morro Bay and San Luis Obispo area, and that's where I live now.
Wait, stop. Stop. Oh, wait, take it out of these. We'll get a good picture. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're nice.
There we go. See, oh, no, there.
Okay, Lisa Yoon Mitchie, we never got a response. Stacey Carpenter, raise your hand, Stacey. You can come up here, I'll talk to you. She made a little trek across the street from Michigan, and she told me originally on the phone that, I'm sorry, I won't be able to come, I have to go, I have another commitment then. But then she called me this week and said, well, my commitment turned out to be in Sacramento, not in Wisconsin, so I can come. So I appreciate that she made it. I heard that she and Tori Baker and Patty and Milan Marshall had a big party last night, and they didn't even invite me. It's probably past my 6 o'clock bedtime anyway. Okay, so Stacey, I put her whole write-up in there because I found it so interesting. I thought, if you wrote it first person, I put it first person. If you gave me information, I put it third person. But if that doesn't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. But if I made a mistake in the write-ups, it was my fault. I can't spell. I found a mistake. I put T-O-O one time for somebody instead of T-O, but I can't remember who that was. I think it was Helen. Helen, I messed up in yours. So Stacey is going to tell back in the days when you had to pass a swimming test at Delano High School in order to graduate. And I think I put that on a little piece of paper that I passed out. If you didn't get one of those little pieces of paper, I know you'll want to take one off the front table later on, because it tells you about how swimming was. Delano used to be one of the top 6 schools in the San Joaquin Valley. It was North, Bakersfield High, Delano, Redwood, Mount Whitney, and Bullard of Fresno. Now, swimming is sort of like The girls like to go out for swimming because then they can get a tan. That's why they're there. Okay, so Stacey is going to accept her award. Thank you, Stacey.
I am very thankful that my parents put a pool in the backyard. It was a way for my mother to know where we were, and a great place to learn to swim. I am also very thankful that my mom drove me and my friends all around Kern County during the summer to go to swim meets. And that made a great difference for Delano High School swimming, and we also have the Fernandos as also people going around, and Gus Ortiz as well. So I think about my 3 closest friends in high school. 2 were swimmers and 1 could not swim. And so Sandra Fiorini from Pond needed to pass the swim test in order to graduate with a 4.0. And so she came to me, and I have been teaching swimming lessons for several years, and like other teenagers I'd had the year before, were terribly frightened of putting their toe in the water, but they knew they had to graduate. So does this rule still exist?
They don't even swim in PE anymore, period.
So, this was part of, it was great fun to have a friend learn to swim. It was a wonderful job, summer job, to watch children go from terribly afraid to very fun. And that was a wonderful way to spend summers. So I want to say that my brother swam, my sister swam, and when I was in my brother's bedroom at one point, I saw some medals. I was maybe about 4 or 6, and I thought I would like some of those. So I just, because my parents encouraged summer swimming, that meant that when we entered high school, we were used to races. We had other people that swam, and swimming was a wonderful thing. Now, some of you who do not swim cannot believe that you would enjoy going up and back in the water for miles. Somehow that doesn't bother swimmers. So, and the great thing about swimming is you're competing against your own time. You're not competing against other people. And so some of my best friends were swimmers from Wasco, the Hagen girls. And in summer swimming, with one Hagen 1 year older and one Hagen 1 year younger, I was competing against a Hagen my whole life. And then we got to compete against them in high school. But we also swam with Wasco and Shafter against Bakersfield, and it was really great to have Hagens on the team. So I grew in friendship. I enjoyed the years, and I'm very thankful to be back, and I thank you for coming this evening.
First name is spelled wrong, I see, so if you want it done open, then give it to me, and then I'll do it.
Did you spell it wrong? No.
It's EY, but it says I.
Oh, that's okay. There's always Photoshop. Okay, wait. Oh, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 2.5. Beautiful.
The reason why my write-up is so long, I'm a historian.
Okay, we skipped Lisa because she didn't make it.